Welcome back. Well, we've got some great information coming from Kristen over at the towers. And even though we are on somewhat of a lockdown, well, they've got great things that they're doing over there to make it more normal. As you said, well, thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. It feels like a normal thing, like a little bit back to normal. So
I know. Well, this is kind of what we've been doing now, and I've had many of them, and we all feel like this is kind of the new norm. Well,
yeah.
but speaking of normalcy, I mean, we're not really in a normal circumstance, and yet, you have many, many residents over there who are experiencing something they've probably never experienced before in their life.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because a lot of times when events occur, they'll have stories to tell and say, oh, I remember when all this, but really the narrative for most people is never thought I would experience something like this in my lifetime. And yeah, they're definitely going through it for the first time also, it is unique. Most of them have lived through everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell me then, as a whole, what are you guys trying to do differently to make them feel better about being in somewhat of an isolation situation?
Yeah, I think, in a way, obviously there are the disadvantages of communal living when you have a virus that's potentially spreading, but there are also advantages in the fact that we are a community that we're all isolating individually, but there's still a sense of togetherness, and that's what we're trying to kind of capitalize on. And so we're trying to figure out creative ways how to continue with our regular services and infusing the normal, fun, positive towers energy while doing things in a modified version. And so we're doing that with dining and housekeeping and maintenance and activities. Yeah, and so we're being creative, but overall the spirits are really high around here. So I think it's going well.
Well, that's good. And you have a lot of people, like you said, somewhat in a very close environment. And that's scary and good, like you said, all in the same thing. And what's nice is that our numbers are very low for, COVID-19 as a whole in Laguna Woods, not necessarily just in the village, but as a whole, which is really attributing to, I think, what you guys are doing and what all of our residents are doing. I mean, they really are very good about staying home, and they're good about following the instructions. So, I got to hand it to you guys because you have a lot of people in there, and so far so good. So good job. Good job.
Thank you. Yeah, we began with our precautions as far as limiting visitors and restricting common area use and going to in-room dining right in the middle of March. And so I feel like our board was just really wise and implemented some really smart precautions at what, looking back, I think was the perfect time. So, and the rest of the village, I know, we were kind of all in sync with that.
Exactly. So give me an idea of what they can expect now. Obviously dining is not the same. So tell me what you do now.
Yeah. Okay. So dining, rather than being in one of the two dining rooms, they're dining in their own unit, which, that is probably something that some people choose to do 5 or 6 times a year. But they're doing it nightly now. And so that was an adjustment at first, but we're still trying to provide the same experience. So it's still a 4-course meal. It's delivered to them with beautiful, plasticware and plates and all that, things that, they're not normally used to either. But it's been interesting because we have had more compliments and just positivity surrounding food and food service than ever before. And I think it's created a sense of gratitude of, wow, we're in this extreme isolating situation and we're still getting this beautiful, wonderful food. And it's actually been really positive in that way.
Good.
And fun to experience that energy around food. And it's a highlight of the day for a lot of people. And so I'm glad that it's being enjoyed.
Well, that's nice that you kind of, you went out of your way to make it more of an experience, which my father is in a similar situation, not in this area, but same thing. He has to eat in their rooms, and it's tough for them because they like to go to the dining room. They like to visit with their friends. And so I think that's good that you guys made it really special for them. So awesome. What about activities? I mean, obviously activities have come to a somewhat of a halt, but you guys have found a really fun way to get things going.
We've been trying. So, I mean, and I think early on we realized that the activities or the portion that infuses fun and just really good energy in our community. And that's something we didn't want to lose when we knew we were going into a situation that would probably bring on some depressive feelings because of the isolation. And so we kind of put our heads together and decided that we'd be able to continue with a few things in a modified way that included social distancing. And so we still have our exercise class 4 days a week. And I actually have the honor of teaching it, which has been really fun.
Okay.
I love being in the mix with the residents. And so for me, this is just, I'm living on site right now. I get to see them in the hallways. It's it's been fun in that it almost feels like living the college life with all my buddies.
Oh, that's too funny. Oh my God.
But obviously we're ready to be out of this period of time too. So we have an exercise class out in front of the building, and everyone sits about 10 feet apart. I would say probably 10 or 12 residents attend outside. And then because of the way that our buildings face, people can join in from their balconies. So we probably have about 20 people who open up their sliding glass doors, sit on their balconies, and participate in the exercise class. And it's somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. And we do a boxing sequence, we swim, we jog, we lift weights. It's a lot of fun. Everyone leaves with a smile on their face. And then the other thing that we've been able to do, same with the same format, in that we have this big outdoor open space in front of our buildings. From their balconies, people can watch below. So we've had Tony Rogers, who's one of our favorite performers, who just is such a happy, fun, talented guy. And so people have been able to enjoy concerts from Tony Rogers. We've had 3 so far and plan to have one every week until we're back to the norm.
That's great. And, and here on TV6, we're certainly trying to, provide them with things to do in their homes. So hopefully they're watching and
yes, a lot of them rave about the 8 a.m. exercise class.
Oh, good. Yes.
So I know a lot of people
got that 8 a.m. one, and then we've got lots of other things for them to do. I mean, obviously online stuff. I just came across something that I was going to advertise next week, is that on YouTube, Andrew Lloyd Webber, is his Broadway plays are being aired every Friday night.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so I'll be telling everybody about that next maybe tomorrow. See if I can squeeze
our residents would really like that,
and it's free. Cool. That's what's so nice.
That's really cool.
So if they have YouTube, they can do that. But anyway, beyond that, you guys are still maintaining the building as needed. Tell me a little bit about how maintenance and housekeeping is working.
Yeah, we've shifted a bit with those services. First, with our maintenance department, normally they're available for handyman type tasks or minor issues. But right now, they're going into units for emergency issues only. So mostly water leaks, issues with pipes or backups in sinks, those kinds of things, to minimize the exposure that residents are having. Because a lot of our people that live here are really doing a good job respecting that ask to stay isolated within their unit. And so to bring extra people in, we felt like would be counterproductive. So they're only going in for emergencies. And then for housekeeping, we normally have every week, you have your housekeeper come in and do service, but we've suspended housekeeping service for now, but it is available upon request. So those who do want to, risk that little bit of extra exposure to have their house cleaned, have the option to do that. Okay. And the really cool thing that has done is then we do have more housekeepers left over, because I would say maybe a quarter of the people are utilizing that housekeeping service. And so we have a full team, 18 hours a day, cleaning our common areas, which means our lobby, our hallways, the laundry rooms, the refuse rooms, the doorknobs, the elevators get cleaned twice an hour. Right. And so we're taking care of those areas that are being shared for people who do come out. Okay. And so it's kind of worked really well to reallocate the way we're doing services for now in a lot of ways.
How is the overall demeanor of everyone living there? I know you said that they're liking some of the things that you guys are doing. I guess overall, you've got a lot of folks in there who, this is not the norm. So what's their attitude like?
Yeah, again, like kind of similar to with the dining, like I'm just experiencing, kind of sitting back sometimes and watching conversations happen that wouldn't normally happen, whether it's between staff and residents or residents together. It seems like people are just taking it as an opportunity to relax and enjoy each other a little bit more, especially enjoy the outdoors. We have some beautiful grounds here that leave plenty of space for people to have their own spot.
Right.
Our staff actually at noon and at 4 every day, we dance out in front of our flagpoles to, some sort of music, and people come out on their balconies and kind of dance along. So I really think we are thriving. It's interesting to say that, but I think there's a bond, when you go through something as a group together, even if it's something hard, this beautiful bond kind of arises. And we already had a good foundation for that here, but it's really showing in this time. And so overall, we're doing good. At the same time, we might look at each other and say, when is this going to be over?
Well, I think everybody in the community has really come together, staff included, as well as the residents. I mean, everyone in Laguna Woods really has been great. And so it's nice to hear you guys are doing just as well.
Yeah, we are. And we also, the super sewers, or the sewing supers and the Laguna Woods Quilting Club have donated so many masks to our community. Good. And so I want to say thank you to them. We've got thank you notes coming to them and pictures and all that, but we've been really blessed by the community as a whole.
That is great. That's great. Well, gosh, thank you so much for sharing your information with us. You stay healthy, and
thank you. You too.
We hope we're out of this sometime very soon.
Yes, for sure. We'll see you in person maybe sometime soon.
I hope so soon. All right. You stay healthy, and good for you on all the good stuff you're doing.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
And we'll be right back after this.